Alright, I had to restart because I realized I was never recording. And so I am playing Bloodborne. I will be uploading this to YouTube. But for anyone watching that is not from that I just found this video on YouTube. I'm going to be playing Bloodborne, but I'm also going to be analyzing this game because part of my college project, and I really wanted to play this game because I love Bloodborne. It's an awesome game, and this is an excuse for me to play Bloodborne again. So yeah, if you want to listen to the music, it's absolutely amazing. Anyway, so here's new game, right? There is a lot of games do this, so this isn't something particularly new. But when starting a new game, you are prompted to adjust the brightness, which is great for people who either find it hard to see in like low light conditions, or for people who find it too bright. It's not only great for accessibility purposes, but it's also great for just in general. You know, you get to adjust the brightness to your own liking, which is great. Plus, you can't tell. Well, not that you can't tell. It's more I can't point to it. So if you look at the two portraits, they're like, it's all like fit in the game theme. So to make it a bit more like, you know, fit with the world, you've got a portrait of a man on the left, and a portrait of a beast on the right. And basically, and you can adjust it how you want. You can make it harder to see, easier to see, again, really your choice. And one thing I really like is that the font with Bloodborne is just really easy to read. It has this feeling of, I don't know how best to describe it, but it has like it feels kind of old, right? But it's also not so old that it's illegible and you can't actually read it. So that's great. Then you can change a little bit of the controls here. So you can change camera sensitivity. I'm going to increase this a little bit. Auto target switch, for when a target dies, it automatically switches to the next one. This is great. It's like it's a quality of life feature, right? So you don't have to like do it yourself, and you can just focus on fighting easier. Then control the vibration for the DualShock 4. You know about that. Yeah, I've done that. Gonna be a cutscene, so I'll be.
Yeah. Pale blood.
I'll let you listen to this.
Well, you've come to the right place. Yharnam is the home of blood ministration. You need only unravel its mystery. But where's an outsider like yourself to begin? Easy, with a bit of Yharnam blood of your own. But first, you'll need a contract.
Alright, so that was the cutscene. I really hope you enjoyed that. So this is the character customization screen. For a game like Bloodborne, yeah, for Bloodborne this is, you know, and this is a great way for people to like, I mean obviously, and as part of Bloodborne, the whole thing is stats. It's kind of like an RPG system, though, yeah, it's kind of like an RPG system. Like, the more you level up, the more you can increase your stats. But you don't level up with EXP. It's not like that. It's different. I'll talk about that when I get to it. But here's everything in order. There's name, obviously you can change your name. You can change your gender, uh, male, female. You can change age, so like, again, the gender and age are just cosmetics, so they don't change anything. You can make yourself look old, make yourself look middle-aged, or make yourself look young, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna go aged, I like that. And then you can change your origin. This basically gives your stats like it changes your stats essentially. You can go lone survivor. What this does is it increases your vitality and your vitality and I don't know, some other stuff, and your strength. So childhood 14 and endurance and skill, and there's a bunch of other stuff here. So these all change different skills, different stats and stuff. What this does do is it makes it really great for building your character, essentially. So I'm gonna choose military vet. I'm really bad at actually building stuff, so if anyone finds any of what I'm doing terrible in terms of building, please forgive me. I'm gonna call myself Herman, if I can spell Herman right here. Yeah, so these basically these give you your stats like a starting place to be in, right? So you'll be able to increase your stats later on, so these, give you a starting place, which is really cool because it allows for like different builds and stuff like that. Again, this is character customization. I'm gonna give myself the most silliest character ever. Okay, I have returned with the best character ever. You know what character customization is, I don't really need to talk through it. The great thing about it is that it allows players to express themselves and allows for like multiple different multiple different, play, you wouldn't say play styles, but again, it allows for expression of the players. And I don't plan to have character customization in my game, to be honest. My game's going to be more of a, a puzzle platformer, so character customization isn't one thing I plan to have in my game. It's not going to be like an RPG or multiplayer or anything like that. So, not really that important. One thing I do want to take from what I've said so far, is the font. I like how the font is nice and readable. Having something similar would be really nice. It helps. Again, it helps with the accessibility and it makes it nice. Let's just get into the game. This is the loading screen. Things will come by, like items from the game, and descriptions, like lore descriptions will be said about them. If you notice, they're like in lines basically, as if you were writing on a lined piece of paper. They're neatly resting on those lines, which is pretty cool. It adds that feeling of...
Good. All signed and sealed. Now, let's begin the transfusion. Oh, don't you worry. Whatever happens, you may think it all a mere bad dream.
Ah, you found yourself a hunter.
Alright, the cutscene's finished, so yeah. I'm just gonna take this moment to geek out about the game. I love the setting. I love how dark and gritty everything feels. I love the supernatural theme of the game. It's just so really nice. I will say, the cutscene, it helps build the atmosphere. Obviously, that's what a cutscene does. It helps add to the world, the world building, the lore, everything like that. But that one specifically, it didn't have too much context behind it, if that makes sense. Like, you're given a lot of questions and not too many, or none at all, answers. You're wondering, why the heck did that monster that was about to attack me turn up? Why have I accepted a contract? Why am I inside a clinic? All that stuff. It helps add to the world building, the lore, like I said for that line, which is all awesome. Give me a second. Okay. So, I would like to take that, ignore those bottles, I would like to take that into my game as well. I don't plan to have cutscenes, not at this point in time, because I feel like cutscenes would be too hard to code, or not too hard to code, but like, they would take a lot of time to figure out and everything to get right. And I don't want to waste all that time because it would take time away from level design. Breaking pillar 1 and possibly making the game worse. So, oh yeah, one awesome thing about Bloodborne is there's no tutorials where in other games where it's there's a UI thing that comes on screen that says, oh, press X to jump, that stuff. Instead, you look at these notes, and the notes, well, not these ones, and there are player-made notes, so you can make, players can make notes of their own, like this, and then you can sign, which means, thumbs up, or flower, which is a thumbs down. Can't well, seek pale blood to transcend the hunt. Time for boost. Weeks of madness, nothing's alive here. How do I... that? Anyway, here's what I mean. The tutorial is by these guys, they're called messengers. Cute little fellas, as you can see right here. They hold up these note things, and this is the tutorial basically. What's great about this is instead of a game where you have to sit through the tutorial, which can be extremely annoying if you're playing through the game again. If you're playing through the game again and you have to sit through the tutorial after you've already done it, it can get really annoying. There was something like this, where you have to do something in order to actually activate the tutorial. It makes it easier because then if you've already played through the game, you can just go through and you don't need to do it. Obviously I haven't played the game in a long time, so I'm gonna read these. These are specters. You can use them to see how other players have died. They only shows you their ghost. What's great about this is you can it gives you a bit of insight, pardon the pun, if you know what I mean. It gives you a bit of insight on how the player died, what they did wrong, what they did right. But it also didn't tell you too much. Here you can only see the player's ghost. You can't see anything else. So, you can't see their stamina, their health, stuff like that. You're kind of left to assume on your own, which is kind of nice. It helps add a bit of mystery, but also gives you some insight as well to help with the oncoming battle. Don't give up. Attack from behind is effective in 5 Oh yeah. This is an awesome note. So one of the many mechanics of Bloodborne is that you can attack enemies from behind them. So let me just try to... No. Oh god. Oh god. Go. Oh. Alright, well, right there, I died. You can see, okay, so I died. Obviously, you're not really meant to win that fight, that fist fight with the dude. Dying is part of the game, like a real core, integral part of the game. Plus you get this cutscene when you die. And this is a great opportunity for me to talk about the many other mechanics of Bloodborne and analyze them. I'm gonna turn the noise down. I love it, but it's like really loud. I can't hear my own voice. I hope you guys can hear though. Anyway, so this is the Hunter's Dream. This is where you go after you die. You'll be seeing this a lot. Or well, I will. And I guess by extension, you guys as well. This is a random abandoned doll. Well, sort of. You learn. Well, we'll see later. This is the Bath Messenger, where you can use your blood echoes to buy stuff, or you can sell stuff for blood echoes. Right now I have nothing but the clothes off of my back. But I could sell, but I'm not going to. Anyway, with blood echoes you can buy a bunch of stuff like blood vials, which restore HP, bullets that are bullets, Molotov cocktails, which are absolutely useful. Like genuinely, they have saved me so many times. And pebbles that can kind of be useful. Blood echoes you get from defeating enemies. Every enemy that you defeat gives you a certain amount of blood echoes, which you can use to, you know, buy stuff. It's a core part of... This is the only Souls game. This is the only Soulsborne I've ever played. So I assume every other game does it like this, but I could be completely wrong. In a lot of Soulsborne games, I assume anyway, you get currency by defeating other enemies. So, you know. Oh yeah. Here's some really cool bit. So when you die, the first time you die, you can see these guys. They have weapons. These weapons are, you know, useful for fighting, basically, obviously. When you die, you're meant to die, right? Otherwise, if you somehow manage to defeat that guy with a fist, which could work, you could do it if you're patient enough. you won't be able to see this, right? So, as I said, dying is a core part of the game. You could say that the first time you die, it's part of the tutorial. Because otherwise, you won't get weapons. Right? You wouldn't get weapons. So you could say this is part of the tutorial. Even though the game didn't tell you, oh yeah, you see that monster? Go die real quick. It doesn't tell you that, but it is part of the... In a way, it's part of the tutorial, like I said. So, I mean, one thing I really like about Bloodborne is that it's not really... It doesn't hold your hand very much. So, if you're new to Bloodborne, or even new to games like Bloodborne, you could think that you weren't meant to die. And like, how the heck were you meant to beat that thing, which was the fist? But yeah. Anyway, so, you get to pick your weapons, a weapon of your choice. The Soul Cleaver, the Hunter's Axe, the Threaded Cane. Each one has its own perks, in a way. So if you press square, you can see the stats, and these are useful for picking out weapons. There's blunt, there's thrust, there's blood attack, there's arcane attack, fire attack, bolt attack. Each of these attacks, again, like an RPG, they are effective against different enemy types. Some might be weak to fire, some immune to fire, some have a resistance. I don't know if there are any enemies immune to a specific damage type, but there are enemies that are more weak to certain damage types than others are. And one thing you'll notice if you look at the attribute bonus is it has a grading system. Now I'm going to be honest, I am terrible with the letter grading stuff, so I don't know if E is better than D or D is better than E. I think E is like at the bottom, so you guys will probably know better than I do. So basically there's an attribute bonus. What this means is the weapon scales with your attributes. So if we take a look at, what's a good one? This one right here, the Threaded Cane. It's C in the skill stat. So if you look at the right, my skill stat is 13. And C, well, you know, so what that means, it is scales better with my skill stat than it does with my strength stat. So if I were to have, if I had 23 skill, right, this would mean that there'd be a bigger bonus to this weapon's damage. With the Soul Cleaver, it has. So yeah, basically, say strength was A, right? That means there'd be a bigger bonus on this weapon's damage if my strength was even stronger. And then the less of its bonus, the lower the bonus, the less of a, the worse is at its, increasing thing. The game doesn't tell you this, I don't think so. You just kind of either have to learn it on your own, or find it on the internet. Now I'm going to take the Soul Cleaver, to be honest. I like Soul Cleaver. Now, as I mentioned before, the game doesn't tell you about the it doesn't tell you about the attribute bonus thing, which in my opinion is annoying, but it is part of the game. I don't like when games sort of, I don't like when when games make you rely on the wiki, or like just going online in order to find out how the game works. Though, there are, like, if it's a game, for example, Call of Duty, right, where there's a certain mechanic or something where it's not really that obvious, it's like a secret, and you have to rely on the wiki or someone else to tell you. I don't like that. But it also depends on the game itself, and also the mechanic as well. For example, in a survival game like Minecraft, right, mechanics aren't going to be told to you. Yeah, in a survival game like Minecraft, you're not going to be told everything, right? You may have a short tutorial to tell you how to eat, how to sleep, stuff like that. Oh, great. You may have in a survival game, you may have a tutorial just to tell you the basics of the game. But a bunch of the mechanics aren't going to be told to you at all. Oh well. Guess I'm playing offline. I mean, that doesn't really matter. I mean, it kind of matters, but yeah. As I was saying, in a survival game, obviously it makes more sense. Or if there's a game where the mechanic like sort of helps you out a lot, or like a game where it's easy to pick up but hard to master. Like, for example, Titanfall. Titanfall is a good example, I'd say. Titanfall 2 anyway. So in Titanfall 2 you can wall run, you can do all these cool movement stuff. But if you master it, the techniques they help you out a lot in gameplay. But the game doesn't tell you how to master it. You have to do that on your own. And in those kind of scenarios, I think it's cool, right? In a game like Bloodborne as well. There are some parts of Bloodborne that I agree. I do like the hand-holdy part. The one thing that I think could do a bit better with is the stats. Like knowing that what attribute bonus is and what it does it would be really nice. Though of course some people might think differently, of course. Anyways, I realized I forgot to get my gun. Blunderbuss or pistol? What's the difference? I never used a blunderbuss. I'm gonna take the pistol because it's just a classic. Oh, a notebook. Leave a note. Oh yes, this is what you can use to make a note, so can't use it right now, I guess. I think it's because I'm offline. I can't open this either. Great. How do I get back? I completely forgot. Oh, this thing. Never mind. Ignore that. Oh, this guy. Forgot. Anyways. You can choose to fast travel to like different lanterns, which is really cool. I mean, it's part of like a bunch of Soulsborne games as well, I think. I think it's like this is the only Soulsborne game I've played. So yeah. And besides analyzing Bloodborne, this will also just be me playing Bloodborne because the game is great. I will edit the video to make it easier to find the points where I'm actually analyzing the game. Anyways, round 2. I'm gonna try. What you gotta do is be like really quiet. You got to walk. Damn it. Oh god. That guy was fast. There we go. And when you beat an enemy, beat it up, the enemy that killed you anyway, this guy killed me. So because I then beat him up and killed him, he gives me what? I lose my blood echoes to him. He then had my blood echoes. And if I beat him up and kill him, he gives me back those blood echoes he gave me. It's a fair and challenging system. A lot of Souls-like, Soulsborne games do it, and it's really fun. Again, tutorial thing, if you already know it, you can just skip it, which is awesome. Give me a second, I don't know if there's a way back on myself. I don't know if I explored that, or if there even is anything there. Can I go this way?
Are you out on the hunt? Then I'm very sorry, but I cannot open this door. I am Yosefka. The patients here in my clinic must not be exposed to infection. I know that you hunt for us, for our town, but I'm sorry. Please. This is all that I can do.
Oh, let's go.
Now, go. And good hunting.
Now, one thing I really like about this is you can see the cracks in the window, right? You can see her through the cracks. So she is rendered through them. And you can see she has an idle animation as well. So they modeled her and rendered her, and she's behind the door, like she's actually there. Instead of we just hear a voice and there's like nothing there, just a disembodied voice. It's awesome. It adds to it's attention to detail, really. Like, I will further compliment this game. Like, throughout this video and playthrough, you will hear me praise this game forever, because I love it. Yeah, that sort of attention to detail, it kind of makes you... I've mentioned this in my reflections, but like, it kind of makes you forget this is a game. Obviously, I can tell this is a game because I have a controller. I'm using the controller to move the character and everything. But like, it really helps me immerse myself into the world, which is awesome. Now there is a top hat here that I can't equip, that I should be able, that I want to equip, because it'd be nice. Anyways, if I find anything to analyze, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a a thing in the corner like that says next and detailed analysis thing at 12:59 or something. Just so that way, if you're only here to watch me analyze the game, you don't have to sit through like me dying tens of thousands of times. I'm gonna try and pilot that. That did not work. Damn it. Let me just... Damn it. Okay, there's a thing where if you shoot the enemies at the right time, you can parry them. But unfortunately I can't do that, which is annoying. Parrying's one of those things that I never really got. I could do it from time to time, but I never like got mastered it. There's like a bunch of parts of this game I never mastered. One nice part about this game is like going up the ladders. Cause like, I mean, it's not unique to this game. A lot of games have ladders. So like, the fact that you have to sit through this, it kind of makes you like think, instead of you just going up the ladder and like, oh yeah, you hear that? Going like, imagine you're a new player, right, and you just exited the clinic, you went up the ladder, and then you heard that. Knowing this game's like atmosphere and everything, that is going to scare you a little bit, because, give me a real quick second. Okay, because you're on that ladder, you hear it, it's going to scare you a little bit, right? You're going to want to go faster. But here's the thing, because you're on the ladder, you have to like sit through it, and you have to like, it's kind of like a tense moment, sort of. It's kind of like a tense moment, but it's not so tense that it's not like being chased tense. It's more tense, it's more suspenseful. I really don't know if that's the right word. As you can see, I lit a lantern so I can return to the Hunter's Dream, which is the place I went when I died. If I do die, I'll come back here. You'll always come back to the last lantern you lit when you die. So that's great. So if you die, you don't have to like dash. Yeah, don't have to trek like hundreds of miles just to get to your blood echoes again. Hey, I'm on this target. Let's go. Okay, so that's what happens when you parry them. It's really rewarding. It's a hard to master system, but when you do master it, it's really rewarding. This guy here, he has a shield. The game doesn't tell you anything about shields. You're just introduced to them. And like I said, this game doesn't do any hand holding. So you basically have to figure out what to do with the shield guy on your own. The game does not tell you. So, oops. One thing you can do is you can charge attack on the guys with shield, and then that, you know, breaks their shield, giving you an opportunity, not break their shield, but break their guard, gives you an opportunity to attack. Now, I didn't explain this, but you can change your weapon. Each weapon has like different forms, which allows for different playstyles. And for this weapon, this one, which has a shorter form, but it's more faster. This one is much more slower, but it has longer range. Short range, long range, fast, slow, which is great. Because it gives you a bunch of different playstyles to just do, to use. It's fun. Is this? Yeah, I am not messing with that guy. I think I'd be in one for like a bunch of Molotov cocktails. Oh god. Oh. Environmental hazard. You can knock on each door.
Come on. You'd open the door on a night of hunt. Away with you. Now.
Now, as a new player, you're gonna have no idea what they're meaning. What is this hunt? What's going on? Whoa! Oh no. Anyways, I'm gonna stop real quick. Real soon, I mean. Let me just finish what I was saying. So basically, as a new player, you can knock on these doors, right? I mean, everyone can. What I mean is, when you start the game, you're gonna knock on these doors, and they're gonna give you dialogue, right? And you're going to wonder to yourself, what are they talking about? Like I said before, the game gives you very little context on like the world. It doesn't tell you, oh, this is going on, you have been sent in to do this, that kind of thing. It helps build an atmosphere of mystery. You have to fill the pieces of the puzzle yourself. And to be honest, in my opinion, that makes the game feel nicer. Sometimes I like it sometimes when stories don't actually explain too much, because sometimes it's the mystery that makes the game or the story feel good. The not knowing is what's so interesting. Anyway, that is it for today's Bloodborne analysis. I am going to end it here. So I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I know I didn't get too much progress done, but I did end up recording this like late at night, so that's on me, to be honest. But I'm hoping that I'll be able to come back to this tomorrow and do some more. And yeah, hopefully I get this edited soon and uploaded to YouTube. Goodbye.